Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So, hello dear friends, welcome to this online interactive session on question answers related to logistics and supply chain management. So, I got few questions, so I will start addressing those questions, right. So, first question is, hello sir, how can we prepare for the coming NPTEL exam? Can you provide some previous year questions, or just by preparing with assignments is sufficient? Yes. So, for especially for exams, already I have given you detailed material. So, you can prepare from that whatever PPTs we have recorded, and we have provided that stuff to you. So, that is sufficient enough, covering all the aspects, not only for this exam, just to have the complete understanding of logistics and supply chain management. That material is sufficient enough, right. And previous year questions, this is first time I am running this course. So, no previous year questions, but yes, assignment questions means questions will be from your PPTs only, right, but not necessarily to be from the given assignments, that is obvious. So, second question is, sir, please can you suggest some colleges for doing MBA in logistics and supply chain management or operation and supply chain? And the question is extended in the next line also, sir, for doing MBA in supply chain management, which is better option, MBA in logistics and supply chain or MBA in operations and supply chain? So, first I will address the second part, which is your MBA specialization. So, usually major you can see major your business schools, they are offering operations specialization, right, and in that only we are discussing about the supply chain, logistics management, all those courses, right. But yes, when I discussed I think when I started introducing supply chain management concepts, I told you that supply chain management is the overall perspective, and in that I believe that operation management should be part of that. Having said that, just take example, supply chain management, we talk about different stakeholders, suppliers are there, we are doing the vendor selection. Now, vendor selection can be your operation management problem, right, but yes, very much part of your supply chain. Then we are talking about the manufacturing unit. Then when we are talking about manufacturing unit, so within manufacturing what we are doing, operations, right, within warehousing what we are doing, operations, right. So, I believe in all the stakeholders we have set of activities which we can group into different functional areas coming up as operation management. So, yes, but then more or less what we are studying right now in operations, like we are talking about operation management, production operation management is very much part of your supply chain management. We are talking about operation research, optimization, we talked about in our session also, transportation problem, we talked about assignment problem, vehicle routing problem, inventory management. So, all these concepts are coming from operation research, right. Then separately we may talk about material management is one course under your operation management and is part of supply chain management. Then we have implemented total quality management concept also, where we discussed about the QC tools as well, how we can implement those QC tools, you know, to solve different problems in logistics and supply chain management related. So, I mean these all concepts we are already, that coursework is there, you are naming it as operation management specialization or supply chain management specialization. Talking about special colleges who are providing this, there are so many in India. The tradition is like all the big houses like IIMs and IITs and other institutes also who are offering management course, they are giving specialized, majorly the mother branch is known as operation management only. But yes, we have now short term courses like 6 months and 1 year program where they are doing MDPs, FDPs on supply logistics and supply chain management, supply chain analytics, right. So, that is there. So, yeah, private universities have included this you know, separate specialization on logistics and supply chain management, and they are giving this in your PG degree in that, right. So, that is again up to you, whatever options you have, right. So, only thing is you need to understand what is there in logistics and supply chain management, and in the end when you are appearing for the interview, you need to justify what you know about logistics and supply chain management, right. So sir is doing MBA in logistics and supply chain or MBA in operation and supply chain, have scope in near future. Both are same whatever you are talking about, but scope in near future, it's all about now logistics and supply chain management only. So see, I talked about the broader perspective including all the stakeholders in your supply chain, and you are talking about future. Now future should not be only that same day delivery. I am saying that within half an hour how your emergency medicine can be supplied to you, and then I am also talking about how you can track when your package is moving on the road, whether the package is in good condition or not, right. So that is equally important, the role of AI, right. So generative AI, how we can implement that, and then the customer experience can be enhanced. So I will just elaborate on that with I will add one or two similar questions on this, and then I will give you more examples what is the future and scope, right. So if we want to do masters in supply chain management, then what will be the better option, doing it from India or any foreign country? Again, that totally depends upon your resources, whether your resources support you, so you can explore the opportunities in. I will not say that it's not that there you will get some other concepts or the totally the experience will be different, right. So but yes, the course structure will be almost similar, right. So maybe sometimes we are clubbing two subjects in one, sometimes if specialized course is given, and then we can add more electives, right. We can, maybe that is again limitation in India. The structure is right now first year the subjects are very common, right. So whosoever is coming for management program first year, almost common for marketing, for operation, finance, HR, whosoever is doing that, right. So maybe if we are picking only logistics and supply chain management or production operation management, whatever, so all 4 semesters, or if trimesters are there, full 2 years program, so then maybe we can add more electives on that. We can have complete discussion on vendor selection, vendor rating, we can have complete selection on setting up supply chain, one complete subject on setting up only distribution network, one complete subject on warehousing, material management. So I mean those electives you can add on, so that it depends upon one's interest, how much you want to explore. So yes, that's why the very USP of this particular course when we designed this, and I would say the material which has been prepared, that covers almost all the aspects, but only thing is one session you can extend into maybe 3 or 4 chapters, right. So that obviously restriction in 60 sessions we need to cover, that restriction was there, but we have tried to touch almost all the angles in logistics and supply chain management. So the next is upcoming 5-year plan. So again I will just elaborate on the question which I read earlier, upcoming 5-year plans. So upcoming 5-year plans already I talked about when I was talking about the future of logistics and supply chain management, and I still remember I included one slide on vision 2024, what we are doing right now. So talking about the scope, future scope or upcoming 5 years in logistics and supply chain management, we need to explore 3-4 angles. First is we want to increase the visibility throughout the supply chain, right. So having said that, visibility right now, let us say if my seller is from somewhere from Delhi, so now he might be having, he did all that packaging and all that, right. He might be having the information about the order, he processed as per that, he handed over that order to let us say Gurgaon main hub facility. Now from Gurgaon it will be shipped to Calcutta hub, and from Calcutta to local Kharagpur distribution center, and from where I will get the message that today your package is out for delivery. This is how it is happening, and you are getting updates as per that. But my question is, let us say when the package was delivered at Calcutta facility and they shifted it to Kharagpur, right. So on the way during transportation, let us say in the transportation that package was, or that product was damaged, but now we do not know that package is damaged, right. So what we are doing, we are following the full channel, and then we are, even after reaching at Kharagpur location, we are not checking, and then it is going to the customer and mile delivery, and we are doing it, and after 2 days the return or maybe same day return is coming back because the product is damaged. And we talked about that if 25 to 35% products are coming back in e-commerce platform, so out of those 20 to 25% are coming back because those are reaching in damaged condition. This is the biggest reason in damaged condition. Why can't we track the package or the product inside the packet, whether the product is okay during the transportation or not? If we could have identified that, maybe reaching at IIT Kharagpur or maybe Kharagpur location, that the distribution center can get the instruction, don't deliver this packet because the product is already damaged. In that way, you can just deliver the message to the customer that this is damaged, and we can ship within few hours or whatever your distribution network is supporting, right? But yes, the customer experience and that return can be enhanced, right? So that returns you can minimize. So because 20% are coming because of the damaged condition. So this is how the AI, generative AI will play a role, right? If you are now, why that product was damaged? Maybe the loading of the vehicle was not done properly, and during loading only you damaged. So why that is not, again, how we can apply AI tools and digital twin. I have shown you one video in the lecture where within few seconds you can upload the full truck with your products and ensuring the complete container, your capacity utilization, right? You are measuring the dimensions of the box you are going to keep inside the container, and then you can ensure complete packet, right? So if that is damaged during loading, so then you need to identify how did that happen, right? So this is again another use you can implement AI tool. So this is one visibility. Second thing is, now we are talking about your safety parameter. Now safety parameter in terms of you are doing the financial transactions, and obviously you are placing the product for the order, that also should reach in safe condition, right? So how you are developing that channel where you can, the financial transaction can be ensured without any security lag, right? So that data should not be hacked by someone and can utilize that data and can do the transaction, illegal transactions, that also we need to. Then we are talking about this is how we can address these points. I'm just giving you the problems, how we can address. We'll address these problems by implementing blockchain technology, where transparency should be there, where we can track and trace the package, each and individual package, where that package is right now, right? And we are talking about safety and secure, again blockchain technology. We are talking about container full utilization capacity, digital twin, and how it can be embedded with the AI IoT, that we can analyze the capacity, container capacity, and how many packets we can fix inside that container, right? So when you are moving on the road, if any accident happens, let us say any accident happens. Now why accident will happen? Either because of the fault of the driver negligence, or because fault in the vehicle who is carrying maybe inventory, or maybe road conditions. So these three major reasons may be there, or someone other maybe on the road hit your vehicle, that also can happen. Now the fourth one obviously we cannot track, but first three we can control. If driver is driving rashly or maybe over speeding, why don't we in the control room are getting the message that he is driving over speedily? So we need to control. This is how we can track the vehicle movement, right? So and then automatically call should be connected to the driver that you need to speed down or you need to stop for some time, right? And then second reason was vehicle breakdown. Before breaking down, once it is breaking down suddenly, obviously the expenses will be very high. But why don't we go for kind of predictive maintenance? Before that breakdown is happening, we'll get the message, now there is some abnormality in the vehicle and you need to go for quick check and you need to stop. If that alarm we are getting, obviously we can save that accident as well. Road condition, already we talked in detail that if road conditions are worst, if any accident is there on the road, if any traffic jam is there, why don't our system is giving the alarming situation that you need to take the alternate route, right? So then again we talked about the routing problem. So this is how we can address these problems. So so these were a few questions. Yes. So there was one question from I don't remember which assignment, but one student mentioned that if data analytics related question was there, whatever inputs are coming from the data analytics team, so that will affect which driver. I think different options were there: facility, inventory, transportation, information. These were some of the, means 6 drivers we were having. So the answer was information, and the student query was it should be inventory, because whenever already data analytics we are doing, that means we are having information, and then that information is related to how we can control inventory, how much inventory we need to keep in the warehouse, in the maybe in the storage house, raw material inventory, semi-finished inventory, finished inventory at the shopkeeper end, or whatever, right? So it should be inventory. No, it is not inventory. The question was immediate implication for which driver. So driver is information, obviously, right? Now this information driver, it is true that is going to impact all other drivers. Why you are thinking that this information is useful only for inventory? This information can be useful for pricing. Now like festival season is going on, so many promotional offers are there. So yeah, so that also is a kind of triggering point marketing strategy for you, which what price you need to fix, because you need to compete in the market. That information may be for the facilities, where you need to set up new facilities because the load coming from that particular region has suddenly increased. How you can manage that facility? Thus information can be used to manage, like now already festival season has started, and Big Billion Days, Amazon Prime Days, all those promotional offers are there, and we have seen, we have analyzed this, that during this season in few products demand has increased more than 10%. You just imagine 10% extra load, not only on production, not only on distribution in warehousing, to end mile delivery. The people who are delivering to your doorstep, they are doing starting 8 o'clock early in the morning and then delivering up to 9 o'clock in the evening, right? So that extra load and then extra pressure to deliver within the promised period. But then I also mentioned that during this time, festival season, if you are placing order, maybe they have promised you within 5 days or 10 days, so you will get your product. Maybe sometimes it will be done in 15 days or 20 days also, because the order has increased like anything, because everyone is waiting for this promotional offer, and then they want to leverage on that, right? So in that way, first driver is information, which is going to be affected, and then obviously this information driver is going to affect all other drivers. So you need to go through that session carefully, where I talked about all these logistics drivers and cross functional drivers, and then I have talked about the interdependency of those drivers, right? So how this is not only information is going to affect the other drivers, your pricing is also going to affect the other drivers, right? Like the moment I am talking about, like if you are reducing the price, like promotional offers, so obviously you need to increase the inventory, because there will be increase in the demand. So I mean that we have discussed in detail. So I think I have answered that question. So these were the few queries I got in that form. Okay, so I could not see any live question here, live chat. So yeah, so I'm waiting for, if any question will come, I can address that question. Okay. So, one point is one new point here is coming, that the future of data analytics in logistics and supply chain management. Like now, we in research methodology also, or in normal routine life also, we talk about sampling, right? And in production also we talk about when we are checking the quality of the raw material is coming. So, we are not checking all the material, right? We are checking few samples, right? And whatever your sampling plan is, based on that we are checking, right? So, that concept was, we cannot check obviously 100%, because in that way the cost and time will be very, that resources are required, right? Manpower is required, machine is required to check that, and during checking maybe will damage the products, right? So, but yes, then we need that. At that time we were saying that okay, sampling is good method, we can go with that, and probability we can set that whether we are ready to take risk a 5% alpha or 10%, and we were accepting lots like that, if we will talk about especially your production operation management. But now when we are talking about big data analytics, see, I do not want to take samples now, I want to reach to every individual customer. I want to know what is going in their mind when they are picking the product. Having said that, I will quote one example, although the data analytics requirement is everywhere, whatever verticals we have discussed in logistics and supply chain management, but I will just quote one example. Let us say if you are going to one multi-brand store for grocery items, right? Now what you are doing, usually you are going on different shelves, big room is there, and then you are picking the product, you are dropping back the product, you are taking the product, and then again you are thinking about that product, and then you are taking the competitor product. So, but in that way, why you are dropping back, why you are picking competitor product, I do not have any idea, I am not getting any information. There must be something going in your mind that you are picking the product, and then again you are keeping that product on the shelf, right? So, I want all that fresh information, and I want 100% information. So, these are the touch points where we are generating the information, right? So, how I can control that information? See, like I have shown you already one video where I showed you one automatic trolley, where you are going with that trolley and you are putting the product inside the trolley, and that automatically bill is added into the bill, and then will show you the Amazon or Flipkart reviews as well, will show you the expiry date also. You just imagine when you are going for grocery items, more than 500 items you will pick, and different brands are there. Is it feasible to check expiry date for each product when it is not, you are not sure for particular packet where it is written? Sometime it is on the top, sometime it is on the bottom, left side, right side. So then every product you are checking will take minimum 2-3 minutes to select, right? You just imagine then how much time is required for picking 500 items, and then you are standing in the queue for clearing the bill. So what I am saying, the video we have shown, why don't you pick all the products, automatically trolley will say yes, this is accepted within expiry date, right? And then Amazon reviews are quickly coming on that, and then okay, fine, right? And then when you are checking out, simple total, your trolley will show the total, and you will just swipe your card. At that point only you can just take your inventory home. So no manpower is required, and usually you can see more than 30-35 or sometime more than 50 people or workers are working there, right? So that all we can eliminate. So data, and this will help you when I am picking one product and dropping back on the shelf, that with the help of AI, with the help of sensors, I can also record what is going on in your mind, what actions you are doing when you are inside that store, right? So this is one way how I can collect that 100% data. If today thousands customers visited my store, I can record the inputs. What was their first preference? How many of those picked first this product, and then secondly they went for that product? Not only product, competitor product, first they picked 200 gram packaging, and in the second attempt they said okay, 100 gram packaging. Why they changed that decision also? Because that will help me in deciding the packaging of the material. So this is again, I want to reach to end customers, so big data will be generated. I want to analyze, want to find out the pattern. If I'll come with the reduced price, reduced packaging, flavor, how it will help me to boost up the sales, right? The second point I talked about data analytics, like predictive analytics, predictive maintenance. Before that accident happens because of the driver negligence, he is feeling sleepy, or maybe because of something is going to happen within the brake failures, let's say. So before that happens, maybe few seconds before, you will get some situation, some abnormal condition in the vehicle, some abnormal condition of the mindset of the driver, right? So that means if we can track that, we can save all those accidents. So this is predictive maintenance, how we can go for that, right? So I think this is one example, data analytics scope in logistics and supply chain management. So many good evening, sir. Okay, I want your questions. Good evening is okay. What are the IIT KGP's upcoming course plan in logistics and inventory management? So right now only this course is going on. I am not aware if anyone else is launching within the same category. I am not aware about that. So yeah, so that I cannot answer. So if any other question, you can write down in the chat, so I'll answer. Hello sir, I am CA studying that course. Will it help in valuation? Definitely you need to go through my 1 or 2 sessions on asset management in supply chain. So definitely there we require the help of CAs for auditing, and not only there, when I talked about this inventory management, role of CA is very important. See, all time if we are maintaining, I quote always this example, if say you are maintaining 10 crore inventory all the time, that means any time that money is idle with you, although if you are selling that in the market, but again you are replenishing. So that means minimum 10 crore inventory you are investing, you are never utilizing that, right? This is a kind of that thing. But obviously inventory is required, we have talked about this, we cannot go with zero inventory, that also concept is coming. We have covered this ghost stores, right? And then we are keeping somewhere inventory maybe far away, and then it is reaching within 10 minutes, and so, right? So yes, in that when we are going for auditing in the year end, and then we want to find out how many assets we have, so then we are talking about assets means permanent assets, and then we are talking about the consumables, or we are talking about the inventories. Then we are also calculating what is raw material inventory, that also will come under valuation of our company. Any material on the production line is also valuation, right? And whatever assets, machines we have, that is also valuation of that. So obviously the asset management, whether we need to invest into the next machine or not, when we should replace the old one, when the cost of maintaining that will be very high, efficiency will be reduced, we need to take this decision, let us go with the automated or the next technology updated machine, so that we can increase the productivity, efficiency, and maintenance cost can also be minimized. So obviously there comes the role of CA when we will talk about that part, and asset management especially. So global logistics are more preferable due to global supply chain management, but yes, riverine logistics are new one to boost the India flow of supply. Yes, this has been the trend. Then we talked about the global supply chain. The reason was, let's say if we are talking about the cheap raw material, cheap components, so then what we were doing, we are looking towards China. China can manufacture whatever quantity you will say, whatever quality you will say, price you can negotiate heavily, and then their tax structure is, although their locations are not cheap locations to set up your factory, but the way they are welcoming the corporates, so that is welcoming. It's not very highly taxed, right, so that they are ready to invest there, right. So most of the manufacturers are going there and investing there. But yes, at that time, and then if you want some tech products heavily supported by technology, automated products, kind of, maybe you are looking towards Japanese players, you are looking towards US players, European market, right. So we were heavily thinking about that it is better you outsource to overseas. This was the concept earlier, right, because either we are getting the price advantage, either we are getting cheap labor or availability of raw material or availability of technology. So many reasons were there that investing in India, producing in India, and then again selling in India, we were thinking that is costlier than transporting from the other country to India and then selling it back in India, right. So then we were thinking, but now you can see, now the global disturbances are coming every other day. It's not only COVID-19 outbreak. Now you can see Russia-Ukraine war, you can see what is happening Israel, Iran, and US is also involved some way. So that all disturbance is there. So it's not only, this is one market. So when your supply chain is connected to that market, obviously it will be interrupted. So now if some raw material is coming from there, obviously, so then it is interrupted. So now we are advocating that it should not be offshoring, it should be nearshoring. So it is better if your raw material supplier is very near to you. You can ensure just in time, you can maintain minimum inventory, even zero inventory also in some of the components you can maintain, and directly it is coming from your raw material supplier and you are feeding to your production lines, right, because your distance between you and your raw material supplier is minimum. So in that way, that disruption, anything is happening in the outside world, you need not to bother because your raw material suppliers are there. But yes, then I will not completely advocate to nearshoring strategy, because then you will lose the point that cheap raw material, cheap labor, or the best technology, right. So what we can do is some alternative we need to develop in nearshoring, and some alternative we need to keep offshoring, so that we can adjust accordingly. So I believe that will answer your question. Recent development, recent placement of Greater Noida for giant Belcom of silicon chips manufacturing. Yes, so this step, silicon chips manufacturing, especially talking about, you might have seen almost 1 or 2 years back, and that was, we are recovering from COVID-19 setback. And during that times, I have seen that more than 50 lakh units were with the manufacturers talking about the automobile industry, four-wheelers, right. There were orders, supply was there, demand was there, but just they are not, able to move those units into the market because they were waiting for the chip. Now every car is coming, with the satellite connected for GPS and all those things, right. So also boosting up the security parameters also, that is required. But yes, then we were heavily reliant on the foreign players, especially Chinese, right. So then the supply was interrupted during that time and they were having this. So now we are thinking of, because this is a kind of industry which requires very heavy initial investment. It's not like some other industry where you can invest. So now Government of India has identified, I think, 2 or 3 locations, and they are coming up with these kind of plants where we will be manufacturing these silicon chips, and maybe we are thinking of exporting to other countries as well, right. So yes, that is the, I think, welcoming move. And the way we are talking about now, there is, complete shift in the automobile industry. Now electrical vehicles and so many other alternative fuels we are talking about, the kind of technology we are utilizing in that, the tracking has become so important, right, security issues. So in that way it will be very good move, I would say. What are some of the ways in which a firm benefit from good sourcing decisions? Good source, like I pointed out, nearshoring, offshoring. So nearshoring, just in time you can implement. And basically whenever we are going for sourcing, first basic reason is you want to cut down the cost, because I am not having that much order, and if I'll start producing that order, the initial investment whatever is required, I may not be able to achieve the break even point. So best part is, let us outsource this to third party who is already doing, maybe doing for some other players, and then because he is doing for so many other players, he can easily achieve the break even point, right. So this is the first point, and we can minimize the cost. If you will start producing in house in the very first point, that maybe you will be in losses, right. And then if gradually if you will feel the demand is coming up, rising, so you can think of producing in house, but until you are reaching to break even quantity, I think outsourcing is better option. And with this, other options are other advantage of outsourcing. Sometimes you are outsourcing because the person is having better technology. So if you will produce with in house, you don't have that latest technology, obviously your competitors are using that technology, how you will convince the customer? So anyhow you need to move to that person who is providing you the technology, right. So availability of raw material. So these some of the points when you are going for sourcing decisions. So these can be the benefits. Like Walmart, what Walmart is doing, they are feeding very heavy orders to their suppliers. So they are negotiating based on that. That is one, they are negotiating on price related to the quantity. The other point is, they are sourcing usually the Asian countries, or where that raw material is coming for the clothing industry, right. So in that way is also plus point. So many many decisions, these sourcing decisions are there, and they are getting benefit. If it is not the case, you just imagine Apple is, there is no point discussing the quality about the Apple iPhone, right. But you will be surprised, and I have discussed this, that Apple is not manufacturing of their iPhones, means of their own. They don't have the manufacturing facility. What they are doing, they are good with the R&D, they are good with the design, they are good with the promotional strategies, but they want to manufacture with the minimum cost, and where they found the cheapest location, Chinese market, right. So all maximum they are manufacturing in China. So recently they have identified some locations in India also, so hopefully they will start producing. Okay, so this is counter to US diplomacy over the silicon chips, it may improve automobile supply chain. Yes, that way not only US, I would say European markets, usually you just see the trend during industrialization, they only started producing in numbers, although there was no consumption if we will talk about the European countries only. So population is limited in that way, but then they hijacked the whole global market with their products, and at that time the concept was, more you will produce, you will be having more muscle power, right. So and then now they exploited all the resources, those countries are developed countries, now they are talking about whenever we should manufacture, we should take care of the environmental practices, the green practices, all those things, right. So you just imagine, they were only the people who started this concept of industrialization of everything, and then instead of producing quality products, Japanese were more focused on quality products. Why? Because if with one product you can continue with 10 years, why to use 10 products for 10 years? But that strategy was opted only by Japanese. Even US players, they started producing in bulk, and then you consume more and more. So we are giving more variety, more numbers, right. Even the Chinese market opted the same strategy, but gradually when Japanese market, they started dominating with their quality parameters, they realized that now we need to move towards the quality. Now they are also focusing on that. Can you suggest some more short term certificate courses that I can pursue in logistics and inventory management in any other platform? Sorry, I am not aware about any other platform, so I think yeah, you can explore that. Maybe few courses, maybe there other professors are offering, so that in NPTEL. So other platform I am not aware, right. So please explain with example about the make or buy decision of a manufacturing plant, right. So with example, let's say okay, so let's say we are manufacturing fans, right, and we are manufacturing for Philips, and then there are so many number of players who are manufacturing fans. You know that Havel is there, Usha is there, so many other local brands are there. Now we are manufacturer and we are very good with the assembly, right? But in fan you are using one circuit board also, right, which is controlling the maybe the speed of the fan and all whatever instructions you are giving. Now lighting solutions are also coming within the fan now, and then also designing lighting with designs, right? So you can just feed the program and different colors will come, lighting will come with the music also you are attaching, so much has come. So I mean one circuit board is required. Now this circuit board is PCB only, where we are embedding so many different electronic components. Now because we were good with the manufacturing assembling thing, we don't know how to manufacture that PCB, right, how to embed those components. We are doing, but it's costly also, and we are whatever we are producing, most of the products, chips or those boards are damaged during the process because we are not expert, right? It's not that you can hire the expertise and any day you can start, right? It's not that easy. Now, and this is also that business which is not generating so much revenue that I am saving this much, so we should go for this. Now what we can do is I can easily collaborate with the partner who is producing PCBs for other players, right? This is just example I am telling you. So I can easily collaborate with them. So now because they are manufacturing for Usha, they are manufacturing for Havel, they are manufacturing for Philips, they are manufacturing for n number of players, easily same printed circuit or with modification also they can do that, because they are expert in soldiering the equipments, the electronic components on the printed circuit board, right? So this is now, but let's say over the time you are realizing that we are producing in numbers, why to give that margin to someone else? But then you need to calculate this, what is this number? So that will, your break-even analysis will help you whether you should outsource or you should produce in-house, right? So I cannot draw that diagram here, so because this is live session, but yes, if you remember that break-even point, if below the break-even quantity you are producing, you will be in loss, right? So in that region you should outsource. When you are moving above that quantity, then you will be in profit. So it is advisable that you should start producing in-house when it is, but then again this is not the sole criterion you should focus on, whenever that quantity is more than that you should start producing. No, it should not happen like that. You need to check whether you have resources with you or not. In that process, just to produce in-house, you cannot lose the market and the customers' belief that your so frequently the short circuit is there, or maybe the functioning is not proper, or maybe any safety related parameters, means so many different defects can be there. That should not happen. Those market complaints should not come. If you believe you have that technology, you have that expertise, why don't produce in-house if that break-even quantity is achieved, right? So I think that is the answer. Yes, so could you please elaborate on different types of moving average? Yes, in forecasting I have discussed like simple moving average or weighted moving average. Then you can fix the time, 3 months moving average or 5 months moving average. This is moving averages, like if you are saying that this month I want to predict how much is going to be demand, I will just see what was the demand last month. This is usually, let us say we are not applying any quantitative technique. What you will say, last month what was the demand? You will say, okay, these many units were sold, okay, but this month we have big billion days, right? So that means if we are Flipkart player or Amazon and that promotional offer is going on, obviously we need to, our experience of last 10 years that during this time 10 to 12% extra we need to produce. This is how you are predicting last month what was the production, now extra 10% we need to produce, simple. So if next month, this month will be the reference and then you can calculate, but yes, then you need to consider this factor, next month maybe 10% extra you need not to produce, right, because that promotional offer has gone. Now let us say you are not Flipkart or Amazon, you are one brick and mortar store, right, you are one simple shopkeeper. So because this time is, if the those prime days are going on and sales are there, obviously the traffic to your shop will be minimum, because people are getting with minimum price, right. So you need to stock as per that. But last month what was the inventory, last year this month during these promotional offer what was the demand. So this is how we are doing. Now moving average is latest month's data we will take into consideration to calculate the next month demand, right. And when weighted moving average we are saying, maybe if we will talk about the prediction for the October month, maybe I will say September should be weighted highest because it is the latest month, then accordingly the subsequent years you can weight little lesser, maybe the second last you can give maybe 30%, third last you can give rest of the 20%, right. So this is how we are doing this moving average. Okay, can we change exam center and what would be exact exam date? I think that is already mentioned on the course on this NPTEL website. You can just go through, and I have really no idea how you can change the exam center. So you can just talk to the NPTEL team. Yes, next question is, Toyota is originator to JIT in world with advanced mode which is lean manufacturing, making zero defects policy with Poka-yoke phenomena. Just in time is opposite to just JIC. So if you can elaborate what you want to say here, what is JIC, what you are saying. So yeah, that is true that it was promoted by just in time, was promoted by Toyota manufacturing only, and that was under the program of this lean manufacturing, where we were talking about how we can minimize the waste, and they identified in Toyota that if we are keeping extra inventory, that is also waste, right. So yes, if you are reducing the inventory, in that way you are reducing the defects also, right. So zero defect policy. So how we can not only in inventory, that is obvious, when you are keeping the inventory in handling and all that, you can damage some of the products, right. But during manufacturing also, how we can ensure zero defect. So because mostly our manufacturing is heavily loaded by your manpower and we are doing the processes manually, that is why sometimes the defects are happening. But if we will automate the process, like robots automated process we talked about in warehousing also, if we can do that, we can reduce the defects in manufacturing as well, right. So for products such as home appliances, toys, garments, what factor would influence selecting an onshore, near shore or offshore supplier? Again, this depends upon, now I told you whether you should go for offshore shoring or near shoring. If first is why we are going offshoring, because of availability of raw material. If that raw material is not available in India, anyhow you do not have any option, you have to go for offshoring only, right. But raw material is available, but there you are getting advanced technology, or you are getting cheap labor, or the price is minimized, maybe let us say you are getting 2% lesser price if you are offshoring. But yes, in that case you need to go for the near shoring, because you need to maintain some alternative if some disturbance happens, right. So then specific talking about the home appliances, toys or garment industry, these are few factors. Probably if you are talking about home appliances, the raw material suppliers are there in India, but yes, then if you are using lighting solutions anywhere, we are importing from China, right. So that is because they are best in providing the lighting solutions, right. And if we are talking about any technology, if you are making toys or garments, if any new technology, then also you are importing from other countries, right. If we are producing something, if that is patented here in India, we are also selling outside world. So yes, this is up to you. It is not only that raw material supply will be interrupted if any global disturbance is there. Let us say if you have distribution network in some other country, right, you are exporting to European countries, you are exporting to Chinese market. So then if something goes wrong there, even then you cannot distribute. It's not only the first end of the supply chain, the second end of the supply chain also is affected, right. So that you need to take care. Indian logistics added national waterways for cheaper yes, already I talked about eco-friendly logistics and even the multi-transport system like so Kalakandan project. So these projects are coming. Obviously the ship transportation is the cheapest one and most sustainable way, leaving minimum carbon footprint. But my point is, it is that infrastructure is not available everywhere, right. Although we can travel long distance using ship, using sea, but then end mile delivery or to the markets in India, again you have to go by road. But yes, as long as we can minimize that road distance, that is better for the environment, better for the organization also, because it is the cheapest one. I think we discussed somewhere around 1 point something rupees for per kilometer using ship and 4 point something if you are using road transportation. But still unfortunately our 60% contribution is almost 60% is road transportation. If we can reduce that even 5%, so much load on environment, so much load on road transportation we can reduce, right. So that would be great movement. What could be exact exam date of this course? Already tentative dates I think they have mentioned. If any change will be there, you will be notified. Please you can get all the updates on the NPTEL website. So again I am not sure about the exam center, whether you can change or not. You can write to NPTEL team and then probably we can see whether you can change or not, right. So these were a few questions. So actually I thought maybe related to course you can ask the questions, because related to your exam I think already they have mentioned everything on your this website. So if any change will be there, they will be mentioning there only. So any other question? Otherwise yeah, so Bikrant Singh has mentioned that the date is 26th October, okay, 26th October is the date. Yes, any other question? Okay, one more question is there. Please discuss the role of blockchain. Already I discussed transparency, end-to-end visibility. Where is my product? Where is my financial transaction? Where is the amount right now? I have already returned the product. When I will get my refund back? All that information is required. And then blockchain, you want that whatever transactions are done, it should be immutable. Should not be, there should not be any threat, security threat, right. So that is the role. And virtual reality in logistics, we talked about digital twins also, where we are replicating the physical world into the digital world. And like the best example is I have shown you that video of loading the truck using AI system, right. So digital twin is there, and then before that container is reaching, we are analyzing the parameters and we are analyzing the boxes parameter dimensions, how many boxes can go inside. If not all of same size, maybe we can combine few small size boxes and can utilize the space up to 99%, 98%. If we will keep all the same size boxes, maybe we can only utilize up to 92%, 95%. So how, if we will pack the small boxes, how we can utilize the proper space. So that digital twin, if we will create of that container, that you can do, right, with the help of that. So this is how you can utilize the blockchain, digital twin, virtual reality, cloud computing. So this part will help you. See, this is all, earlier we were talking about we need some information to take decision, right. Now we are moving towards that era where we are saying why we need information to take decision. Why the system is automatically taking decision. If system is having all the information collected by all the touch points, sensors are collecting the information, how much inventory should be transported, why I should take decision as supply chain manager. My system should automatically take that this is now, right now is the safety stock, we need to ship the material within this time and we should replenish the inventory within this time, otherwise that warehouse or maybe distribution center will be out of stock. So now we do not want information, we want our system should be intelligent enough, right. So we want our machines should be intelligent enough to take all the decisions, and generative AI is very helpful in that way, because now it is not only that we were talking about it cannot take emotional decisions, it cannot, it is only based on facts, it is based on algorithm. Now generative AI is the kind of thing, you give my 40 years data, right, and how on different situations I am crying, I am laughing, I am smiling, I am reacting, you just feed that data, your robot will start behaving in that way only, right. So and whatever you are doing, it will learn the new things also, right. So this is the new era when we are talking about the scope of this. So this is, there is a huge scope, and still you just imagine our expenditure on logistics and supply chain management is almost double than the developed nations. You just imagine double. So that means that much we can just save just implementing these technologies. So and all the stakeholders will be benefited out of that. Please discuss on sequencing and scheduling. Sequencing, I have given you the algorithms here. It is difficult, if you have any doubt you can write it down, but complete algorithm. So sequencing is which job you should do first. So we have all the jobs 1 to 10, right, whether the first job should be executed first, or the 10th job, or the 5th job, or the 8th job, which job, that is sequencing algorithm you are implementing, right. So in that we have seen the Johnson rule also, and then sequencing algorithm you will be applying first come first serve, last come first serve, shortest duration, shortest processing time, shortest due date. We have discussed all these algorithms to define the sequence of the activities. So that the purpose here is we can minimize the execution time, and without any delay we should be able to deliver all the jobs on time with minimum cost. That is the purpose of sequencing. And then scheduling, obviously we can schedule one, that assignment problem we have done, that this job should be scheduled on this machine, this job should be scheduled on that machine. The only thing is we are calculating what is the cost if job 3 will be done using machine 2, or job 3 will be done using person 2, right. So what is going to be the cost? So depending upon that algorithm we can find out the minimum cost, right. So to whom that should be assigned, when it should be scheduled. So this is how we can do that. So what is the difference between sequencing? Sequencing already I explained. Job shop. So see, this is job shop is a kind of intermittent manufacturing process, and we divide this intermittent manufacturing process into two different parts when we are saying batch production system and job shop production system, right. in job shop production system, what is happening, the recipe is same, the sequence how we are processing the things is same, but and all the machines will be same. So, in same sequence same machine will be used, only the ingredients will change. Let us say if we are manufacturing medicines, so same size medicine is there, only ingredient will change, same machine can produce the tablets, right. If we are producing bakery items, if you are producing maybe sweet biscuit or you are producing salted biscuit, so only ingredients will change, the process will be same, machine utilization will be same, right. So, this is the difference. Yeah, this is sequencing rules, all these whatever I have mentioned, first come first serve, last come first serve, these all are sequencing algorithms, already we have discussed in one session, right. So, that we have discussed. I do not know in what way you are relating this with the job shop, already I explained what is job shop production or dispatching or scheduling, whatever you are saying. The other part is batch production system, where we have different recipe, different machines we are using, and then we are producing in batches, right. So, in pharmaceutical, if you are producing different products, because tablet size is not same, maybe different machines are there, on one machine you are producing in batches, right. And then if you will take about the example of kitchen, that is the example of batch production, right. So, sorry, job shop production, where you are using different recipes and different machines are there. Yeah, so you are saying that job shop production system or job shop rules, see sequencing, you are sequencing the jobs, this is the meaning, right. Job shop production if you are talking about, then already I explained what is job shop, right. Yeah, sequencing is just thing with minimization of make span. Yeah, so minimum time should be there, and when you are ensuring minimum time, it will be minimum cost, right. So, that we are executing, see that depends upon when you are sequencing the jobs, okay. So, once you have because sequencing is you are considering only one machine, then it is totally whatever is the minimum time you will be, it is not always minimum time one thing. Let us say sometimes what is happening, the urgency is also important, the due date is also important, then you will not consider the minimum time, right. So, in few the algorithm will define whether you are focusing on minimum time or not. Once the sequencing is done, you do not have only one machine to process all those jobs, maybe 10 jobs are there and 3 machines are there. Now, the assignment of those jobs on different machines based will be minimizing the cost, right. Which practical problem comes in paper, that is very difficult to say what will come in the paper, but yes, I have given you the idea, you can refer in detail all the PPTs, right. So, I think that is it. Any last question? If there, I cannot say which question will come in the paper. So, any last question I can take, and then we will close this session. Okay, if so, no question. So, wish you all the best. So, any other questions? Yeah, related to many queries are coming related to exam date and that changing the exam center. You please, you can just drop an email to me, and I will just confirm, will reply on that. Meantime, maybe you can connect with the NPTEL team also. So, whatever way you drop me an email, I'll reply on that after asking them, is there any provision to change the center or exam date, right. So, wish you all the best. Thank you very much.